Okay. You can turn the lights off if you want. It's plenty sunny outside, so it should be fine. So earlier in the week, we worked on, it will adjust. Earlier in the week, we worked on the explicit formulas, right? So explicit formulas are formulas that we use when we know the term number and we want to find a term really far down in the sequence, like the 100th term or the 1000th term. And so the explicit formula for an arithmetic sequence was what? The nth term equals... No, the nth term equals the first term plus, what is it?
The common ratio.
Common difference.
That's what we were
N minus 1 times. For the geometric, the nth term is what? The first term. Times the common ratio.
So, no, just
raised to the n minus 1 power. Okay, explicit formulas. This one is what kind of sequence?
Arithmetic.
Mm-hmm. And how can you tell an arithmetic? Same thing over and over again. Thank you. How do you tell a geometric sequence? Because it's multiplying the same thing over and over again. Okay, so we've reviewed. Are we good? All right, so today we're going to talk about recursive formulas. And recursive formulas are actually easier to use. They're just kind of harder to read. Okay? A recursive formula expresses each new term of a sequence based on the preceding term. What does the word preceding mean? The one right before it. So, in this case, the way we read this one, A sub n stands for the nth term. So when we read it, we read nth term, right? A sub n minus 1, where the n minus 1 is in the subscript. Let me zoom in. That means the previous term. So that means the one in front of this one. Okay, so when you see A sub n minus 1, that means the previous term. And then D stands for the... So if we were reading this math sentence, we would read it as the nth term is equal to the previous term plus the common difference. Make sense? Not THEDOGRUNS, right? We've talked about that. Okay. So notice that when we use recursive formulas, we don't need to know what the first term is. We just need to know the previous term. So sometimes we call this formula the now next formula. Because if you know what the term is now, you can find out what the next term is. That's why we call it the now next formula. But it only works when we're trying to find stuff really close, like the next 3 terms. Because it's kind of what Joey was doing the other day. He just kept hitting add, right? That's the recursive formula, just adding the common difference over and over again. So here's the sequence. Let's look at this one. The sequence is -2, -9, -16, -23. What's going on with each one of these? Adding -7. Very good. So in this case, the common difference is -7. Right? So first thing we always do is write the formula, which says the next term is equal to the previous term plus the common difference, right? So if we wanted to find the 5th term, we would say the 5th term is equal to the one in front of the 5th term. Thank you. So this would be the 5th term is equal to the 4th term plus -7. See how you would read that? Okay. So the 5th term is equal to the, see how we write 4th term plus -7. So can you see what the 4th term is up here? 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth term is negative 23, so we sub that in. The fifth term is equal to negative 23 plus a negative 7, or negative 30. So the fifth term of the sequence is negative 30. It works when the term numbers are low. Okay, good so far? All right, because these are so easy to use, we go straight into the geometric formula. We don't even practice a whole bunch of them first. So the recursive term for the geometric formula, G sub n stands for the nth term. So what would G sub n minus 1 would be the previous term, and R stands for the, okay, so we read that as the nth term is equal to the previous term times the common ratio. Okay, so here we have the sequence, 4, 12, 36, 108. What's going on this one? Multiplying by 3. So this time we know common ratio is 3, right? R is 3. First thing you always do is write the formula. The nth term is equal to the previous term times the common ratio. What are we trying to find? Fifth term. So we substitute in, and it says the fifth term is equal to the
Previous term.
fourth term times the common ratio.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so then we actually write that in math language. The fifth term is equal to the fourth term times 3. What's the fourth term?
108.
So we plug that in for the fourth term. So the fifth term is equal to 108 times 3. So we get 324. The fifth term is 324. All right, so now let's try a couple. First thing we have to do is decide if we have a geometric or an arithmetic sequence, because we got to know which one to use. So that makes this one
Geometric.
It's geometric. What are we doing?
You're multiplying by 3.
Good job. So if it's geometric, that means R is 3. So that means that the nth term is equal to the previous term times the common ratio. Start with the formula, right? We're doing 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one are we trying to find? The fifth term. So that means the fifth term is equal to, we could save one step right here. What's 5 minus 1? So we could save one step by saying the fifth term is equal to the fourth term times what's common ratio?
3.
So the fifth term is equal to, what is the fourth term? 45 times 3.
135.
Now, somebody in here will say, well, Miss Stockton, I can just look at that sequence and hit times 3 on my calculator and write it in. Well, that's true, but that's not our goal. Our goal is to learn how to read, write, and do algebra, not just fill in that blank. If our goal was just to fill in this blank, then that would work. But that's not our goal in this classroom. Our goal in this classroom is to learn how to read, write, and do algebra. And in that case, you need to do all those steps. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So could you and your elbow partner try B? You and your elbow partner try B. First, you have to decide if it's arithmetic or geometric. I heard an arithmetic.
Yes, it is.
Because what are we doing?
Adding.
Adding a.
It's adding 16.
So it's adding
-16.
negative 16 because they keep getting more and more negative, right? So if it's arithmetic, we have a common difference, right? All right, you work with your elbow partners, and I'm gonna elbow partner myself up here.
Sarah's already on E.
Cheating.
All right, so look at F.
Yep. Oh, we're doing F.
Well, I just want to look and check your F. Your F took 3 parts, right?
Yep.
First, you had to find the common difference, which was negative 600. You guys found that?
Yep.
Then we had to find the 4th term, right? So the 4th term is the 3rd term plus negative 600. So we got that. But then we had to find the 5th term. So the 5th term was the 4th term plus negative 600. And then we had to find the 6th term, which was the 5th term plus negative 600. And so you should have shown the work for all 3 of those blanks,
Oh my goodness.
right?
I didn't put negative 600 in the parentheses.
You can't have 2 signs right in a row, like a plus minus. What did you put?
I put A4 equals 3,278 plus 600 times 3. I don't even know how I got that.
I don't either. Because there's no times in the recursive formula. All right, so now look what it says. It says we have to use the recursive formula to find the... So, that's going to take us a little bit of room, right? So to find the 9th term, we're going to have to get the 8th term. And which term are we on?
6.
So we're going to have to start with 7. The 7th term is going to be the 6th term plus negative 600. So what's the 6th term was what? 278 plus negative 600. So we get what? Negative 322. Somebody check me. Woohoo! Negative 322. So then once we get that, we can say the 8th term is equal to negative 322 plus a negative 600. So that's going to be negative 922. Then the 9th term will be negative 922 plus negative 600. Which would be what? Negative 1522. So using the recursive formula, in order to get the 9th term, when the last one we had was the 6th term, you had to find the 7th, and then you had to find the 8th, and then you had to find the 9th. What? And I don't know why, but the only time I use that kind of A is when I'm writing the formula for the arithmetic sequence. That's the only time I write that A. And I guess I write it because that's the way the book always shows the formula. With that kind of A, you know. But
Okay.
all right, so now let's do the explicit formula. The explicit formula, right, to find the nth term is equal to the 1st term plus the common difference n minus 1 times. We learned that earlier in the week. So this one, if we want the 9th term, we just need to know the 1st term. What's the 1st term of our sequence in F?
3,276.
I think it's 78. 3,278.
Oh, then I'm wrong.
Plus, what's the common difference? Negative 600 times n minus 1 times, right? So 9 minus 1. So we have 3,278 plus, what's 9 minus 1?
8.
What's 8 times 6?
48.
48. So this is going to be negative 4,800. So what's that? 1, 5, 2, 2. think it's negative 1522. Somebody check me. Am I good? Woohoo! My mental math is going strong today. So, if you had to find the ninth term, right? Would you rather do the recursive formula 3 times or do the explicit formula 1 time?
Explicit.
All right, that's what the next one says. It says, so I would rather use the explicit formula because it's faster, it's less work, right?
I think she only taught me that way.
The explicit?
Yeah.
I taught you that last week.
Wait. Forget what I said.
I taught everyone the explicit formula, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then we did cognitive tutor yesterday, and I said we'd finish up by doing recursive formula today. So look here on D. What if you had to find the 61st term? Would you rather use the recursive formula and find the 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15? Or would you rather use the explicit and just do this? Okay.
Explicit.
And again, because it's faster, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to use the calculator. Okay?
Oh.
All right, so here we go. The next stuff on the pages are the calculator instructions, but I'm going to show you how to use the calculator, so stay with me. If you forget how to do it, what I'm teaching you, the instructions are on the next couple of pages, but I just want you to watch, okay? So, let's do F, the one we were doing, right? So, if you put in, go to the home screen, everybody go to the home screen and hit clear. Are you guys with me? All right, we put in the first term, 3, 2, 7, 8, and hit enter. It puts that first term in the calculator's memory. Okay? Then, if you hit plus the common difference, so plus, what is the common difference? Negative 600. So that tells the calculator what to do with that thing in its memory.
How do you do those
Use your big words. What are those called, Clay? There you go, parentheses. They're above the 7 or above the 8 and the 9. Okay, so then we plus a negative 600. When you hit enter, do you get the next term?
Yep.
Now you should just be able to keep hitting enter, and it will just keep generating. That means you used a minus instead of a negative.
That's cool.
But if you were having to do like the 61st term, you have to be really careful that you're counting carefully and that nobody bothers you to get up to the 61st term.
I'd rather do the work.
I'd rather do the work too. But let me show you. Everybody make sure you got this part. You understand how to do it this way, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, your calculator will give you the term number and the value if you know how to use the calculator keys. So let's hit clear and let's clear our screen. Okay?
Clear all of it?
Clear all of it. Now, this one's a lot of keystrokes, so keep up with me, okay? So this one, we're going to hit second parentheses to put in brackets. Do you see the little squiggly brackets? All right, the first term of the sequence is 3,728, and then you close the
I can't
brackets.
see that.
Then maybe you should move closer.
I think I got to 62.
How did you get that little comment?
Comma is above the 7.
You're right, or-
So open brackets, first term, comma, 3,278, close brackets.
Second,
I think I
and then
got to
close,
62.
or just close?
If you just close, it's a parenthesis. It's not a bracket. You gotta close the bracket.
I can't see
Okay.
because it's not.
So wait, one, how did you put the burn?
All right. Everybody check with your elbow partner. Make sure you got it on there.
How do you get the comma thing again?
Yeah, how do you?
Commas above
right
the 7.
there. Oh, stupid.
That was not the hard part.
Okay, I got it.
All right, you got
Hold
it.
on.
Everybody got it.
No. Almost.
All right. Now you're going to have to stay with me. Are you ready?
No, wait. Okay. Now I'm ready.
All right, you have to hit enter to put it into the calculator's memory. The calculator is doing 2 things at one time. So it's doing the term number and it's doing the sequence on the left. So it says the first term, because it's not one number, Clayton, it's 2 different numbers. The first term is 3,278. Okay? So here we go. You put the bracket back in.
Same bracket.
Open bracket.
Oh, I pressed Y by
Open bracket. Shh. The more you talk, the more people around you are confused.
How do they go back? Oh, wait. No, wait. I got it.
All right, listen. You're going to hit second negative. That brings up the previous answer. But you have to tell it, I want to use my first answer. So that's open parentheses, number 1, close parentheses.
Whoa. It's gonna be confusing.
Hold on. Oh, shh, I told you, don't. Now, when you do your term numbers, it's the first term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term. It's increasing by 1, right? So I'm going to tell it, increase my term number by 1 every time. Now hit your comma. Now we're going to tell it what to do with the sequence. So that's second negative again, brings up the answer. Open parentheses to close parentheses. That's saying my second answer, which is my sequence. And you have to add the common difference to it. So what's the common difference?
-600.
So you got to use your parentheses again. -600, close parentheses,
There's a lot of parentheses.
and then close the bracket.
Oh my god, oh my god.
Okay.
Okay.
The parenthesis and the bracket are 2 different things. Okay?
And press enter.
If you press enter, it should say the second term is 2,678.
Oh,
And then if you press enter again, it'll say the third term is 2,078. And then you press enter again, it'll say the fourth term is 1,478. And then this way you can just keep pressing and the calculator will count to 61 for you
Wait.
instead of you counting.
My 10th term is 8,600.
Oh, so we're going
I
to
think I did something wrong. Oh my god.
So
Mine says Erison.
your calculator, if it's a syntax error, you used a minus sign instead of a negative.
I think I did that.
I don't think I did.
Your calculator will actually help you do the recursive formula over and over and over and over, but it's still a lot of work when you could just use the explicit formula one time, right? But your calculator will help you use the recursive formula repeatedly. Still a lot of work though. Make sense? Okay, that's all you need. Now you can finish your homework packet, your 4.3 homework packet. It's due on Monday, and you guys have about 10 minutes of class left.